If you're running your own service business, you know the feeling, right? It's like you're on a hamster wheel, working harder and harder, but never really getting ahead. Well, today, we're going to dive into the story of one couple who totally broke that cycle. This is the blueprint for how they completely transformed not just their business, but their entire lives.
So let me just ask you this straight up. Are you running your business or is it running you? It's a question that hits home for so many entrepreneurs. You start out with all this passion and this big dream of freedom, but somewhere down the line, that business starts to feel less like a dream and more like a cage that demands every single minute of your day. Sound familiar? Well, that was the absolute reality for the couple we're talking about today. Let's call them K and L. They're a husband and wife team, and they built this amazing coaching program for other couples in business. They were talented, they were passionate, but their business was literally eating them alive. They were on the brink of total burnout.
And that's exactly where they were stuck, right in the middle of what you might call the entrepreneurial burnout trap. It's a super common problem, but when you're in it, man, it can feel like you're the only one. So let's break down exactly what was going so wrong for them. A business strategist came in and found 3 huge leaks in their business model. First off, finding new clients was a total roller coaster, completely unpredictable. Second, their profit margins were pretty weak because they were mostly selling smaller, low-priced offers. And third, and this is the big one, the real killer, they had fallen deep into the unlimited access trap. And the price they paid for that trap was huge. Think about it. By giving their clients unlimited direct access to them, K&L had basically created jobs for themselves where they had hundreds of bosses, all needing something at a moment's notice. Their model was just fundamentally broken. It couldn't grow beyond their own time and energy, and there was absolutely no room left for them to actually live their lives. So how in the world do you fix a business that's built entirely around you? Well, this is the turning point in the story. The whole solution came down to this really powerful but simple new philosophy, something the strategist called trim and stack. Okay, so the idea here is actually pretty simple, but it's a game changer. Trim means you get ruthless. You cut out all the stuff that feels busy, but doesn't actually move the needle, all the low-impact time wasters. Then you stack. You take all that freed up energy and you build one premium, scalable program that delivers incredible value without needing you there one-on-one all the time. And you can really see the difference it makes right here. I mean, look at the before. They were spread so thin, constantly putting out fires, answering messages, doing one-on-one calls for low-priced offers. The after model, it's all about leverage. One premium program delivered one-to-many, driven by a few high-leverage events. It's night and day. Okay, so a great philosophy is one thing, but how did they actually do it? How did they put it into practice? Let's get into the nuts and bolts of how they built their new high-margin business from the ground up. The very first thing they had to do was fix the offer itself. They just stopped selling all the small, low-priced services. Instead, they poured all their focus and energy into creating one incredible, high-value flagship program. They literally stacked the value into one irresistible package. And here's what that new stack actually looked like. Instead of those endless one-on-one calls, they switched to powerful group coaching sessions. They built a structured online community where clients could get support from each other 24/7. And then, for that really premium touch, they added in-person retreats twice a year. See how each piece adds massive value, but it's way more scalable for K&L? All right, so they've got this incredible new high-value offer. Now they need a simple way to sell it, right? So it was time to apply that trim principle to their marketing. They threw out all their complicated, inconsistent methods and went with something radically simple. And get this, their new marketing funnel had just 2 steps. That's it. First, they'd attract their perfect clients, these entrepreneurial couples, with a single, really well-designed virtual date night event. Then, from that super engaged group of people, they would convert attendees directly into their new flagship program. So simple, so focused, and crazy effective. So, what was the end result of all this trimming and stacking? Well, the outcome is pretty much what every single entrepreneur dreams of. It wasn't just about more revenue. It was about getting more life. Let's take a look at the final transformation. The results were just staggering. Their workload went from very high and chaotic to low and focused on what really mattered. Their ability to scale went from practically zero to through the roof. And the big one, their revenue potential, went from being capped by the hours in the day to being effectively uncapped. They finally stopped trading their time for money and built a system that worked for them. And it really all boils down to this one powerful shift in mindset. They stopped selling their time, and they started selling a transformation. That, right there, that is the secret. That is the key to unlocking both massive growth and personal freedom in your business.
So I'm going to leave you with a challenge. Take a hard look at your own business, or maybe just your own to-do list for this week. What is one low-leverage task, one time waster, that you can trim right now? Just think about what you could accomplish with all the time and energy you'd get back.